Good afternoon, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I am outside of the bedroom right now. I actually don't know if I can show you guys mine because the light is all the way across on the other side of the room. I will do my best to try and share with you guys what I can, but again, it's kind of hard to like see in there because there is no light. I was able to show you guys yesterday because they had like the what's it called, the shop light, but it's all the way on the other side of the room and I don't really want to walk across it because there's like stuff in there. The room I can show you guys though is this room, because we do have the light in here, and I can share with you guys they finished the floors in here. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, it's kind of still smelly, so I'm not going to leave this door open for very long, but they did stain the floors in here today. So we went with a very light colored stain, which is pretty similar to, it's actually not. The color that was in here was very orange. This is a lot closer to the natural wood color, which is different than what we did in the other room, because with the other room, we just did like a clear coat. We didn't actually stain it. So with this one, we stained it, and it is a lot, again, brighter, you know, of a stain, and the color is a lot more natural to what the actual wood tone is. So it's almost like staining it without, you know, like without actually changing the color of it, because it was a very, very light wood. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It all, like I said, it's all done. They still have to do the trim because the it wasn't dry. Like they did it like the last thing that they did today. And that was just kind of because of the order, the stuff that they were working on and everything. So they do have the trim, and that the trim is here on the floor. But if you guys can tell, this floor is actually sanded. So my bedroom floor is sanded, and but you can't see very far in there anyway because one, there's no light. Two, the tarp or like the drop cloth is down, and then also two, I again have no clue how well you guys are gonna be able to tell in here, but the ceiling, maybe I'll be able to brighten it up in in editing, but the ceiling is pretty much done. So they did a really good job. Like you can't tell. So they did the skim coat, that's why it kind of looks like that. They still have to sand that down, and then when they sand that, they will paint the ceiling also. However, I did notice that they did this here as well, because this was like the drywall damage that they ended up, or we had from the water from the roof that was leaking, and so it did like go over onto this part. So they did put this in. So although we did paint the walls, we probably have to do some touch up and do like paint that there. And then they're also going to put the trim in here as well. And then again too, that's here. But the, again, you can't really see the floors other than here. And that's why you guys can kind of tell, like, this is the unfinished floors. These are also very, very light. Like, again, very close to the color that, we kind of picked as the stain anyway. But again, it was a very dusty mess today. But thankfully, there's really not that much dust like in the hallway or anything, like, because earlier today when they were sanding and everything in the hallway part, like right here, they put a big like you know, like plastic, like, you know, tarp thing or whatever, I guess, so that none of it blew into the kitchen, because he was like, you know, you don't want to get it all over your food or anything. So because they were sanding, they were doing like the second sanding kind of on the floor, like they hadn't done the corners, I think, yesterday. So they did that, and then they were also sanding the drywall, so it was real dusty. So they cleaned all of it up, but they did have that in, like I said, in that space so that it didn't blow into the kitchen also. But again, they did like a really good job of cleaning up, because I know that again too, they like vacuumed in the hallway and everything and swept up and stuff like that too. So anyways, that is where we are. They I think tentatively tomorrow they might be done with all of the project stuff. I think though, in the reality is, because they're gonna have to sand, I think the order that they would probably do it in is sand the ceiling tomorrow, then paint. Then they will probably put the stain on the floor in here. Then they probably go and do the trim in the other room. And then if they have time, if the floor's dry in here, they will do the trim in that room and then be all done tomorrow. If the floor is not dry, like the stain is not dry tomorrow, then they are, you know, by the end of the the day tomorrow, then they'll have to come back the following day on Thursday and finish it. So possibly Wednesday, probably I'm thinking Thursday. But again too, if like everything works out, it's just weird because like you have to work on the ceiling, but you can't do the ceiling if the floor's wet, you know? So it's like they can't do both at the same time, and it's not like, oh well, one room's done, we can do this in the other room, you know, like that kind of stuff. So thankfully it's all sanded in here, but like it's just kind of that bouncing back and forth between both rooms. But it's really awesome that we were able to get both rooms done at the same time, you know, because I told you guys how we've been stressing out about this, like I guess me too a little bit, but I've been stressing out about it just because of the amount of like I have to get everything out of both rooms at the same time. Like that's a big amount of space for us because we don't have that big of a house. If we had some giant house with like a basement and all that kind of stuff, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm currently sleeping in the living room because I have no extra bedroom. We have 3 bedrooms downstairs and then a bonus room that's my parents' room upstairs. So Jack's currently in the only spare bedroom that we have, which is actually just going to be a guest bedroom. And that's where he's been because I've been in my room, which was the one that was in here that has the finished floors. But I'm moving into the other room, the one that has the ceiling stuff that's being done. And I was in there up until again too right now where we had to get me out so that they could do all this work, which again too is a lot of work, but it's really nice that it's getting done, right? Like, you know, we could just have been like, whatever, and just, you know, not done the floors or not done whatever, but it's like it's a really good thing to just get it done and, you know, and handle kind of all of that stuff. That's why it's really awesome. And like once these rooms are done, the only thing that still has to be finished in here is getting the 4 windows replaced. So there's one window like here, the other window that's over there. So there's those 2 windows, and then again too in that other room you guys probably saw there was the 2 windows that were right next to each other, the ones that are right, I guess I can show you guys again, but those 2 windows, those are also the only windows on the first floor that have not been replaced. And all of the upstairs windows were also replaced other than the one that's in the attic, but it's not broken, so it's not like it's that big of a deal, like it's just the attic window. And it was actually probably when they did the upstairs stuff, that one was probably, they replaced I think both of the end windows, like that one that's in the attic and then the other one, but they didn't do it right and so it was leaking. So but we haven't noticed that has not been a problem in the front window. It can probably be done with like a cheap window, like just like a store-bought like pre-hung kind of one. Like the ones that are downstairs are all custom because the window size is weird. Like when we had somebody come out to measure for them, he was like, oh, you might actually need to get like the sideways slider windows because they're like kind of, I don't know, I kind of, maybe it is definitely smaller than the bathroom window, but I kind of feel like they're the same size as the other one. But they were able to do them like that, but they do have to be custom windows. Like you can't just get store-bought because they are kind of a weird dimension. So they wouldn't fit without having to like bring in the window frame a lot. So thankfully these are all gonna get done as well. I don't know when for sure, but I mean if they can get done like, you know, by maybe January or February or something like that would be awesome. But we had all of the downstairs, the kitchen, the bathroom, and the back bedroom, which is going to be the guest bedroom, those 3 windows done, and we got the garden window put in the kitchen, and then we also got the sliding glass door put in the back along with the window that's in there, and then the bathroom window, which is like frosted glass. And when we first moved in a handful of years after, maybe about like maybe 5-6 years or something like that after we moved in, which we've lived here for 20 years, but the front like 4 windows, like the big picture window along with the 2 windows on the side like of the picture window and the window that's like on the other wall, those ones were all replaced, like I said, probably that like 6 or 7 years maybe in, because I remember Jack was like really little and we moved in when Matthew was a year old. So again, Matthew was maybe like 7-8 years old or something like that. So that's why I know it was kind of early, but then none of the back like windows have been replaced. So we're getting done with these projects and then those windows, and then these rooms will be like freshly brand new, you know. I mean the only thing that like didn't happen was like drywall didn't get like put up, but nothing really other than the drywall that had to be fixed. Nothing was really wrong with it, you know. We didn't need to replace it, and we didn't really need to replace the what's it called, the trim either, but we just were, because a lot of times you have to take the trim off anyway when you're doing the floors, like because we did like a full like, you know, like sanding kind of thing and everything like that. So normally when that happens, you have to take the trim off anyway, so that's why we just had the trim replaced in those 2 rooms. So like those rooms will be like done, like, you know, nothing needs to be really updated or upgraded or anything like that in them, which is really good. So because again too, the floors all look really nice. The other thing too is that Black Friday, I actually ended up getting a new rug for my room. So I was really excited about that, and it came yesterday, I think. So I was like, yay, I don't get to see what it looks like because I have nowhere and there's no floor space in the house to like lay it out. So I was like, I get to just look at it in the box, and I was like, well, nothing looks like it's wrong with it, and it's the right color and everything like that. So I'm assuming it was the right rug that came, but yeah, once they finish up, then I can put my new rug down, which is exciting. So and then my furniture is coming on Monday. So we got a lot of stuff that's going on right now, but it's really nice that we'll be like have a good space too before Christmas, like hopefully to get everything done as well. But anyways, I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.